America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Jenny. Always mindful of the needs of others. Right? Right? Right. Thank you. And all that other stuff too. Thank you, Jenny. Say again, John? I did. She did. Thank you, John. John is always on top of the whole microphone thing, in case you're wondering. And if you are a visiting Rotarian, will you please stand up? And there's Nelson already standing up. And Candy, you are a visiting Rotarian. Thank you for standing up. All right, so we have Candy Hovarter, is that how I say your last name? Who is a visiting Rotarian. She belongs to the Milford Club. Thank you for being here again, Candy. Now you can applaud. We have Nelson Edwards. Raise your hand, Nelson, who is a visiting Rotarian from the M36 Club out in Pinckney. And thank you for your applause for Nelson. Any other visiting Rotarians? All right. Anyone who is a visitor here today in person? Nobody in person, but we do have a visitor who is our speaker on Zoom. So if everyone could wave to Captain Encouragement. And you're going to laugh about this, but I do not know your real name, Captain Encouragement. Would you mind sharing that with us, please, and tell us which club you're a member of in California?
So my name is Nicholas. Don't tell any supervillains, please and thank you. And then I'm from Twain Harte Rotary, District 5220.
Thank you. And let's give it up for Nicholas, who apparently is a visiting Rotarian. Right, Nicholas? So thank you for joining us today from California. And we're looking forward to hearing your presentation today. We have a very special ceremony to perform today. We have our very first induction of the 2021-2022 year for Livingston Sunrise Rotary Club. And for those of you online, we're gonna be clapping, don't you worry. My name's Jamie Nicholson. Welcome to the Livingston Sunrise Rotary Club meetup here on Friday mornings. You're welcome to join us anytime in person. Can we clap for our people on Facebook Live? And now for our first induction. Gina, will you please come forward? And Brenda, who is Gina's sponsor, and Connie, who is Gina's mentor. Hi, Gina. Hello. We're very excited about this. And you have been chosen, to membership in the Livingston Sunrise Rotary Club because your fellow members, all of these wonderful people here, and these two in particular, We believe that you are a leader in your vocation. And because you manifest those qualities of head and of heart that fit you to interpret and impart the message of Rotary to those with whom you come in contact. Make sense? Everyone? It's very important that we are all hearing this for you and for ourselves as we daily put on service above self in our Rotary Club as we work together to change lives. And now you are going to be part of all of that. You, Gina, are the representative of your vocation in this club, and any contribution of an educational value pertaining to that vocation must naturally come to us through you. Right? Thank you. Because if you're representing, what are you representing? Administrative assistant, Terry? You are representing your vocation to us. Okay, I know it's the teacher part of me in this ceremony. On the other hand, you, Gina, become the ambassador from us to your classification, your vocation, and it becomes your duty to carry the ideals and principles of service to your work, right? So like our 4-way test, take it to work. If you're out at the grocery store, okay. I charge you, Gina, to judge yourself by the Rotary 4-way test. Right? We say it every week. Of the things you think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned, right? Think about those words. They are powerful words, right? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The community, Livingston County and beyond, will know and judge Rotary through your embodiment of it in character and service. Yeah. And we, all of us, accept you, Gina, as a member because we, nod your heads, believe our principles and organization is going to be safe in your keeping. I wish to impress upon you that you have been admitted not only to the Livingston Sunrise Rotary Club, but also to a worldwide association, Rotary International. And by virtue of your membership in this club, you will be welcomed into the fellowship of any Rotary Club in the world. Milford, M36, where are you, Nelson? M36, or California with Nick. Wherever you go, you can go to any of those clubs in the whole wide world. Isn't that exciting?
Awesome.
The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it duties and obligations. You will be, right? Duties and obligations. You, Gina Colas, will be expected to attend the club's meetings regularly, to perform your share of club service, and to place your knowledge and talents at the disposal of the club in its task of carrying the principles of Rotary into the daily life of the community. It's a big responsibility, isn't it?
Yes.
I ask all members to rise. Rotarian Gina Colas. In the name of the Livingston Sunrise Rotary Club, I formally admit you to membership in this club and affix to your lapel our emblem. And while I am doing that, fellow Rotarians, I commend to you our newest member, Gina Colas, and charge all of you to welcome her. Let's give a big round of applause. And at this time, if you are comfortable, please line up, starting here, and give Gina your warmest welcome and biggest smile. But first, we're going to have a photo opportunity. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is my duty and obligation to remind all of you that we are being broadcasted live to the Facebook world, and we are also being recorded on Zoom. And if you have concerns about us filming you in any way, please let me know, and be careful with your words if that's something that you are concerned about. Secondly, I would like to introduce John Scotta, who is in charge of our service projects for Livingston Sunrise Rotary Club. John, would you please come forward and make sure that you're holding the microphone very close to your mouth and speaking clearly for us.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So first thing I want to do is I want to thank Mr. Dan Bain, Mary St. Pierre, Kate Lawrence, Tom Archer, his kids, I think, and yours truly, Jamie Nicholson, for helping out depositing cans for a young lady that needed a lot of help. She sent me an email. I'm going to share it with you guys. It was very nice, and she was very appreciative. She said you guys did a prayer afterwards, and it was incredible with her mother. So she was very moved by it, and we did this in one day. So I just want to thank this club because you're all awesome. I sent out an email. It was something that I wasn't able to do, and you guys stepped up, and I just appreciate it very much. So thanks for Steve Grono for bringing it up, bringing it to our attention. If any of you know somebody that's in need, let me know, and we'll try to rally up, and we'll try to get it done if we can. We have next order of business is the Victory Garden on the 28th. We got a lot of responses on this, so come out. It might be a little bit of fun. What you got there? Yes, we got the sign up sheet. I also have, you can sign up on it through the email or through the bulletin that Mike sent out. You just got to click on it. I think somebody said that that wasn't working for them, and if you have trouble with that, just let me know, and we'll get you signed up. I'll let Stephanie Rock know how many people are going to be there. We're going to have some other Habitat for Humanity projects coming up, and we've got a couple other things in the works, so I'll keep you all updated. That's about it. That's all I got. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you, John. And if you tried to sign up for that after the first email that John sent out, try again because there was a little bit of a glitch in the system and I think I fixed it. And thank you, John, for your help with that. I did talk to Jake Larioza, and he and his wife Priscilla are going to be coming out for the work day. We're going to have a contingent of some Rotaract people at the Victory Garden Workday because we're working on a monthly environmental service project with Rotaract and Interact at the Howell High School and Middle School. So we're excited about that, and it's going to launch at the Victory Garden Workday. And I'm going to let Jim Waters speak right now, and after Jim, we'll hear from Lorna about our literacy excitement.
Real simple. We just need to know how many people are actually going to be there on the 28th so that Stephanie Rock Nerby can be prepared for us. Otherwise, she won't have everything out for, right now I think we got about 10 people on that list, at least. I already told her 10, her eyes lit up. She wasn't quite sure what she was going to do over there with everybody. But bring a chair, and I'll bring the donuts.
Will you bring some bran muffins too, Jim? Bran muffins, maybe, also.
Good morning. The Literacy Committee, we have a meeting next Wednesday, the 25th at 7 o'clock p.m. I'll be sending out a Zoom invite. And so we're looking very much forward to our meeting. Also, I think Jamie announced last week that on October 15th, we have a presentation. So we're very much looking forward to how we can serve the community and meet their literacy needs. So thank you.
Thank you, Lorna, for your work in our mission to improve literacy in this county, and your team too. We are continuing our family of Rotary gatherings at Jameson's in Brighton on Wednesdays at noon for anyone who'd like to join us through the month of August. And in September, not going backwards, we will go back to Howell on Tuesdays at noon at Karate's. So if you'd like to join us on Wednesday at noon in Brighton at Jameson's, please feel free to stop by. It's a nice time, and we get to know each other better. So we are working on a social for the month of September. And I know Jim Waters had brought up the fun time that we had at Aberrant Ales a couple years ago. So we are trying to get a day ready for that. Right now I'm thinking Monday, September 6th, which is Labor Day for anyone who's in town. So that's in the works. if you have any stories this week, for example, Dan and the rest of us who were at the service project putting cans in the machines, and our time with that family, that would be a great story to send to Michael for the newsletter, not because we want to say how wonderful you are, even though you are, but I know some people are like, oh, don't take pictures, don't celebrate, because that's our crowd, right? We're humble, which is wonderful. But we want to be people like we just heard in our induction with Gina, right? We want to represent Rotary and encourage the rest of the world to do good things in the community. So the newsletter is a way of doing that, and Facebook and all these different ways that we're promoting our club are impacting the world and encouraging and inspiring other people to make the world a better place. So if someone could put together a paragraph, then Michael will use his editing magic to make that into something that will inspire other people. Sally, hold on, there's a microphone here.
On here. What's the time for the Victory Garden?
9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday, August 28th. Thank you for asking, Sally. And if you're the kind of person in this club who pays attention to detail, will you please raise your hand? Because I want to celebrate you right now. Oh, really? You're not raising your hand? Thank you, John. We know who you are. Who just said that? All right. My last announcement is that at the end of the meeting today, we could use some help cleaning up all of these banners. It's a good arm workout. So if you would please consider doing that, I would appreciate it. And my request to all of you is, are there any other announcements that anyone has at this time? If so, please raise your hand.
Okay, sorry, I was gonna do this at the regular time, but United Way's Day of Caring was last Wednesday, and as you all know, we stormed in the afternoon, and so we had no power for 5 days, but we're now hearing that some of the projects didn't get finished, so I'm gonna send an email out to ask if anyone can help wrap up a few of those projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. And if you have any photos, you can send those to Mike Leninger. And at this time, Mike is going to run our happy dollars and fines for the club. Would you like some help with the microphone or the collection basket?
We ain't got no fines in this room. It's happy dollars, and you are fining yourself. If you violated any of the rules of the four-way test, this week, you owe $1 or $2 or $3 or $4. All right? Now we're going to do a mic check. Mike. We only have 3 mics here. We have 4 or 5 mics in the group. That would be great. Coming over here to the newest member. Woo!
Hello. I am very glad to be here, happy to finally be a member, and wish everybody a happy weekend.
$1 big dollar for the new member, Gina. Yay, Big G! Welcome, Gina.
Welcome, Gina.
It's $1 for last week when I was Zooming. It's really close.
It's supposed to be.
And $1 for all the beautiful sunflower fields around right now. They make me happy.
I got a couple happy Friday.
You still have money left, Dan.
This is for can people. Can people. And welcome, Gina. Happy dollars.
A couple dollars here. Welcome, Gina. I left my badge on my shirt last week, so I was late to this meeting. probably some other things that I'm not sure, but I'm glad there's not a strict enforcement this week. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Self-fines here. If you wish to fine yourself, you may. You got $2.
1, welcome, Gina. 2, I'm still selling raffle tickets for the Brighton Masonic Lodge, and there's a list of all of the firearms that are going to be auctioned. Be part of the, what is it? Gun raffle. Anyway, there's 20 guns going to come out in 20 days in November. It's $20 a ticket, and I still have tickets left, and I've got a list of the guns here if you want to see it.
Is that 20 guns with one ticket, or one ticket gets one gun?
You could actually hang on to the ticket, and that ticket number could be drawn a second time or even a third time.
I was worried I'd have to bring home 20 guns to my wife.
John was real interested in those guns. I'm worried about him.
Miss Jenny!
So I have 3. Here's one for Happy Friday. Here's one, welcome Gina. And here's one, John Scotta, thank you for everything you do to coordinate all of these hands.
Woo! Mr. Robinson!
All right, I've got 2. One is welcome Gina, and the other is thank you Dan Bain, who's agreed to take on some leadership of our local prevention coalition.
Now, a confidential informant told me that you allowed the governor's banner to touch the ground. Is that true?
Yes, it is. And I got injured in the process trying to save it.
All right, you have paid with blood and tears, son. Thank you very much. But now we have to burn that banner because it touched the ground.
Here's a happy dollar for a very interesting induction ceremony.
Very interesting.
I'm going to take a couple dollars out, and I'm going to put in a 10. One is for the most magnificent August morning in Michigan that we've had so far. I thought it was gorgeous this morning. Another one is for my husband and my friend Jamie waiting for me on the shore of the lake until I got finished with my swim. And what was the third one? Oh, I bought a half bushel of peaches, and they are so delicious. And that from the peach truck. Thank you.
That was Bordines, what was it? The peach? It wasn't that peach truck. All right, we're going over here to Mike. Mr. Bryan.
Happy Friday. I came back from vacation to the storm, so big thanks to our crews. We did like 60 calls in 3 hours in Brighton, and then a big $1 for our teachers. Good luck to all of our school staff going back in. Don't envy you all.
And he got his badge finally today. Congratulations, he's official.
Just happy Friday and welcome, Gina.
All right. Tammy, anything?
We did the pancake breakfast at Milford Memories, Meals on Wheels, and it was a huge success. So thank goodness. We made some extra money, and it was really fun. That's it. Thanks.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome, everyone, and we have a couple of events. We just had our Hootin' in the Park wrap up last night. It was great. We have Food Truck Fridays going on in Pinckney, and we get about 1,000 people out there. It's an amazing day in Pinckney. We've done 3 of those this summer. It's been great. I'm not ready to really make the formal announcement, but it looks like December 4th is going to be when we actually have our celebration as forming a club. And we're going to have that at the DIO in Pinckney. It's going to be a dinner theater kind of thing. You guys are going to want to go. All right.
Now, when's the next Food Truck Friday?
Next year.
Oh, they're done! Oh, my goodness, they're done. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm coming to you. Yes. Okay.
Okay, I am here to announce to you that there is a golf outing for the Amber Ryanek House. This is for Courtney. And the Overdose Awareness Day on Tuesday, August 31st, which is also something that the Amber Ryanek House is a part of. So I will put these out on your tables for Courtney. That's my first dollar. My second dollar is my favorite quote I read this week was, "Today's headlines are tomorrow's fish wrap." And thirdly, I want to say I'm excited about doing a triathlon tomorrow, and Mike O'Brien's going to do that, and my husband's going to do that, and that'll be early in the morning in Linden. If anybody wants to come out and watch, ha 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 ha. And excited about my swim to the moon with Peggy and Ed and some of our friends. So raising money for a good cause and being active. Thank you.
And when she says Team Rotary, you say? No. Excellent. Very well trained.
Welcome, Gina. And then Diane's not here, but to Diane and all our staff at the health department for all they do.
It's a tough, tough thing. All right, looking back out there at the world, we do have a Zoom person. Do we have any other members who are Zoomers? Oh, I'm sorry.
Welcome, Gina.
All right. No Zoom announcements? No Zoom happy dollars? Then we are done for the day, and it's only a little after 8. Yay!
Thank you, Michael. Can we give a round of applause to Michael? Because this is a job. I mean, it's clear he enjoys it and everything, but still a job. Okay. It's my pleasure to introduce Nick, who is with us from California. Is it a 3-hour time difference, Nick?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Just to be clear. And they had a fire this week, which means he was close to being evacuated. So can we just give a round of applause for him being here so early in the morning and with a fire happening in his neighborhood? He is Captain Encouragement. The goal of his organization is to perpetuate positive change in the world, starting by giving our children worldwide the tools to break the cycle of violence that is inherent in our society and the media. Sally, were we talking about violence in children this morning already? It's happening out there, and Captain Encouragement is making a difference. Captain Encouragement uses the world's unprecedented interconnectivity to wake up the new generations and trade apathy and isolation for the love and kindness of a more positive humankind. Again, let's give it up for Captain Encouragement.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's going to take a little bit to get used to hearing myself and also seeing myself in a bit slower time. I don't know if you guys noticed that there is a bit of a shift, so I'm seeing myself in real time. Well, not in real time, a few seconds behind. So thank you very much for having me. You guys okay to answer some questions before we start? I don't know if you guys can nod. I can't hear much of the, okay. Thank you for the thumbs up, appreciate you. And thank you also for the work that you guys are doing. Really quick note, as a Rotarian, it's always beautiful to see the work that gets done in the world and the fulfillment of doing it today. I get to see all my Rotarians as we get ready for our deep pit barbecue. And I get to do all the heavy lifting, which is going to be a blast. But yes, I'm grateful for the work that you guys do. But first question, name a football team. I can't hear him, so I'm going to assume that there was a bunch of them yelled. Okay. Yell out a baseball team.
Okay, so I heard Tigers. Tigers. What other baseball teams? Yankees, Lugnuts. Okay. What was that? Cubs.
Wonderful. Okay. Now, can you name a Kardashian?
Kim. Dysfunction.
Okay. I heard a lot. Okay. Now, can you name a millennial or someone in Generation
Millennial.
Z? Someone in Generation Z who's a role model in mainstream media.
I'm not hearing anything, Captain Encouragement.
So you had about 32
Oh,
football
hold
teams
on.
to choose from.
Wait, Gina
Oh,
had somebody.
We have one. Okay, cool.
Vincent Colas, my son.
Oh, Vincent Colas, her son.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, sorry, I'm still hearing that echo. 32 football teams to choose from. About the same number of baseball teams. You have 10 or so Kardashians. I haven't counted them. I don't know. 7.4 billion people on our planet. And over half of them are those two generations. And it took some time to name one. That's a fundamental problem. People are expecting this world to be better. Everyone wants this world to be better. And we all know what this ideal future looks like for our planet. But if we can't name a single role model, how are we expecting any generation that exists now or will exist to do anything better? And my story starts way back, actually before I was born. So I'll go into a little bit of my backstory. My story starts before I was born because 4 months prior to being born, my mother got into a horrible car accident. They said they actually had a preacher come talk to my mother and say, this is God calling his children back. They were telling her, this is how you lose a baby. And they're trying to prep her to lose a child. But my mother very aggressively said, no one in this room is losing a baby today. And with this car accident, her ankle was actually hanging from, like her foot was hanging from the bone because it was such a bad car accident. And they had her bolted back together without any painkillers because they said it would have affected me. And she said, I'm not going to allow that to happen. And so I wasn't really supposed to make it, but because of that and because of her staying flat on this bed to not break the amniotic sac and to also go through 32 hours of labor to make sure my lungs were fully developed for me to be born, I get to be here today. So basically my mother is the Terminator, but she's an amazing person who made sure that I could be here today. And so I was born on March 4th, which is one of the only commandments of the year, which means that I have an obligation to make this world better. And so as I grew up, I was introduced to this concept I think all of us experience at some point, which is bullying. First, I think it was first day of first grade, my memory of it was being dragged across the playground while other kids were stomping on me. And it was about 6 kids. And I remember thinking, yeah, this school place isn't so cool. I'm not a fan. And then as I grew up, that kind of festered in me to where then I wanted to reciprocate with rage and anger. And I got into cage fighting, I got into football, mixed martial arts, and I started kind of aggressively taking out in the world the pains and problems that I had in my own life. And at the age of 19, my entire story kind of came to a halt because through this cage fighting, through bodybuilding, through football, I had a subarachnoid brain hemorrhage. A blood vessel in the back of my head ruptured, and the rageful creature that I was put on hold. It was like, okay, we have to stop. I had gotten so far from my genuine self. And eventually I found my way back as I'm sitting there in the hospital. And my vision had just come back because subarachnoid brain hemorrhage affects your eyesight. It's a blood vessel in the back of your head that ruptured and filled the bottom of my skull with blood. And the doctor comes in and says, you're done with football, you're done with fighting, you're done with mixed martial arts and high impact everything. And so I thought my life was over. I was like, well, then if I can't be a part of these sports, then who am I as a person? What's my value here? And so that sent me on a journey which led me to basically what I get to do today. And I was figuring out who the heck I was and why I'm here. I think that's a question that drives every single one of us, is to know, why am I here? It's a question that, all of us kind of at some point ask and wonder and continue to wonder. It kind of pushes us forward. But I remember thinking, how did I get so far from my genuine self to become this giant, violent, destructive creature? And some of the questions I asked you earlier kind of made sense for why there wasn't anyone in my life trying to lead me, or at least that I wasn't paying attention to, because the people I enjoyed and liked were destructive, chaotic people, because that's who the media focuses on. Who is chaotic, who's destructive. And so I thought, well, what if there's a superhero that could teach kids to actually be a leader without it having to be violent? Who can be compassionate and kind and still be strong? Who can be empathetic and still stand their ground? But these are things, these are ideals that we're kind of hoping that the world teaches people. But as these questions that I asked you kind of confirm, no one here can name a leader, but we can name a Kardashian off the top of our head. We can name a football team super easy. So that was a problem. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to create something. I don't know how, I don't know. I just know I'm going to do it. So I went out and I started asking people, hey, can you guys make a superhero costume? And you'd be very surprised at how many no's I got. Maybe you wouldn't be surprised. You're probably not surprised at all. I got a lot of no's and eventually found a yes. And so someone made me a costume. This was almost 6 years ago now. And I go to a school and I'm like, you know what? The first place we have to start is with kids. This is where the change happens. As a child, you download so much information without context. So we have to teach kids. So my idea was, what if we taught this stuff to kids? What if this superhero, Captain Encouragement, could teach this to children? So I go to a school and I say, hey, I have this cool idea. It's a superhero named Captain Encouragement. We'll teach teamwork, leadership, anti-bullying as the focus. The man looks at me. His name is Mark Dyke, and he's a dear friend of mine now. At the time, I didn't know him. And he said, that's a great idea. Can we get all the students to the main area? We're going to have an assembly. And he pats me on the back and says, good luck out there. So just to be clear, I didn't have a plan yet. I knew I wanted to do something, but now as I walk outside in genuine fear in this costume I had made, I hear hundreds of kids chanting, Captain, Captain, and no blood left in my body. I was terrified, but I knew in order to do it, I had to push through whatever uncomfortable feelings I had or whatever I was dealing with had to go to the side. I had a mission. And when you're driven by a mission to make a difference, to make an impact, nothing matters. And so I got out there, and as those of you who have kids or grandkids know, there's not much of a filter for saying like, oh, that was great. No, they tell you directly, this works, this doesn't, this is great, that sucks. They tell you instantly. And so I got that instant feedback. We found out what worked and what didn't. It was only painful for my ego. That's the only thing that suffered that day, but it was pretty heavy hit. After that, we started getting invited places, and we started traveling to Northern California. And I thought, you know what would really go well with this program is a comic book. And so I worked for about 8 months and actually developed our first Captain Encouragement comic book, because that makes it real to kids. Once you start making things real to kids, and they can get excited about it, and kids were really responding. We started hearing stories almost immediately of kids saying, oh, Captain Encouragement taught me, like, this is how you be a leader in this situation. We started hearing stories from parents. One student specifically, the mother came up to us at a book signing, and this was about 3 years into our program and development. She said, thank you for all that you've done in our household. And I said, oh, you're very welcome. She's like, no, you don't understand. My son has ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. And he struggles to gain weight. He's bullied for a lot of reasons. He has a lot of psychological and health issues that are part of what he has. And one day, some superhero named Captain Encouragement came to his school and spent time with him after, and a lot of other students. And he said one of the foods he eats is green beans. And now he will eat his green beans and show me his captain encouragement muscles. And that was something I would never have expected that we could do. And as all of you know, the impact is about one life. It's just make one difference in one life on this earth, and you've succeeded. And that's when I knew we were doing it right. We were doing what we needed to do. And I felt called to this and continued. And then we started doing musicals. We started to travel the country. We started getting invites to be a part, like they did a 2-page spread in the Rotarian. We were getting on TV, and things started to really progress where it was growing, and we were doing lots of performances. We had posters. We had our second comic book. We started doing these really big school assemblies. And then March of 2020, we had our biggest school assemblies ever scheduled. And then something happened. Something happened in March 2020. I'm just trying to, that's right. So we couldn't do it. It was 3 days, over 2,000 kids scheduled to perform, and everything got put on hold. But I knew instantly we had to continue. And so we started pivoting into online content. We started making stuff for YouTube. We got contacted to produce content for a children's streaming service based in the UK that streams globally. And then we started developing our first video game, which is now on our website. All of this kind of came from an idea to serve. And one of the pieces I did forget, apologize, I forget to mention my club. Don't tell my club, they will beat me. My club, I was first introduced to Rotary, which is how I grew this program. I was introduced as this young kid with this great idea, superheroes are gonna change the world. And they're like, come to our Rotary meeting. And I was like, what's Rotary? He's like, yeah, we've been changing the world for like 100 years. Like, no big deal. Paul Harris, I'll tell you all about it. And so I got to experience Rotary. And then they brought me in as a family, and they supported me and guided me to doing this. So that allowed us to keep doing it, to do what we get to do today, was because of a Rotary family, because of Rotarians believing in this and allowing me to be part of the Rotary family. I usually have an ask at the end of my programs, but right now, all of our stuff is virtual. All of our programs are on YouTube, which you can check out our episodes, which a lot of them have downloadable content that can be printed for free. We have our video game, which can be accessed online. My ask of you is that the next time that someone comes up to you, to your club, and says, I have this idea to make an impact in the world, that you continue to do what I believe many of you would do, which is, yes, let's foster that. Let's make an impact. Like, I believe in you. That simplistic thing that said, I believe in you, was how I was able to keep going, because there was enough no's in my path. Trust me, of, hey, what if there was a superhero that did this? Like, great story, dude. But there's a lot of people like Rotarians that allowed me to do what I get to do today. What allowed us to travel the country, travel the world, get to do these amazing programs, meet amazing world changers. And it led to me developing our production company, which helps others develop their ideas and develop other children's content that's educational. All of this was because of a group of people saying, yeah, we believe in that. Hey, let's help you start a nonprofit, because you just said nonprofits must be pretty easy to run, so you obviously know nothing. So I had to learn that lesson right quick. So my ask is that you guys continue to that and continue to take care of yourselves. Right now is a very heavy time, and if your cups aren't full, you can't pour into other people's cups. So make sure that, as well as taking care of others and caring like all of you do, you practice self-care. You practice taking care of yourselves and just being kind, because that's what's important right now. So I'm very grateful for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any, or if there's anything that I can share or content that you guys could use, please let me know.
Do you have a website?
Yes, I do. Calltoinspire.com.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Other questions? My favorite part of your presentation, Nick, was your ask, and that awareness that you brought to Rotary to support nonprofits. I mean, there were so many wonderful things about your presentation, but that was really stood out to me. Any other questions or highlights from the presentation that anyone else has? Sally?
What age group children do you work with the most?
We work with kindergarten through about 9 years old. Early on, we thought, hey, we'll work kindergarten to 8th grade. And very quickly we learned at 4th grade, there's a shift where you go from being a superhero to a guy in a superhero costume. And kids are not as receiving. So we stuck with 3rd grade is pretty much our cutoff. And they respond the most because they still believe in the magic of it.
Thank you, Nick. Any other questions or comments for Nick, Captain Encouragement? Well, thank you again for your talk. For joining us at such an early hour California time, and all that you do, Captain Encouragement, to make the world a better place.
Thank you guys, and thank you for what you do as well.
Oh, hold on, Terry has something.
I love your costume. I just looked up your website.
Thank you.
All right, so at this time, I'd like to invite Michael up for the 50-50, please.
The treasurer's not here. How much did we have last week in the kitty for 50-50?
According to my text message from our treasurer, Penny Murphy, we have about $400, and she and I are entrusting our assistant treasurer, Judge Dan Bain, to take the money today and deliver it to her and not skip out to Mexico.
All right, we raised $100 today, and half of 100 is how much? $50. So there's $450 up for grabs today. There are only 24 cards left. So if you want to make a last-minute purchase, you may do so. 24 cards. It's pretty darn good odds, isn't it? All right, I did not buy any this week, so we're going to just reach in here without looking. Last 3 digits are 8, 5, 4.
It's not a game of skill. Remember this.
I trust you.
What am I looking for?
Ace of hearts.
Ace of hearts.
Ace of hearts.
I like this one.
No! Choose another.
2786. I have contacts on. Thank you. 2786.
All right. Pick a card, any card. Tell us what it is.
9.
No good. Pick another one.
855.
Ah, 2 for 1. She didn't win it the first time. She might win it this one.
Ace of hearts, right?
Ace of hearts. Yep.
Well, there's not that many cards out here.
I know. We're down to like 20 some. See it. She's got her X-ray vision going.
I see it.
Ah, she's a winner! She's a winner, ticket dinner! $450, and we start anew. Congratulations.
Cheese. That's amazing. I know a good way to use that money, too.
So when will she get her cash? Next week you get to get your cash. Until then. All right, you may keep that, Ace.
All right, so I have a memory when we were meeting at the Genoa Medical Center complex that there were 3 50-50 drawings in a row that waited till the last card. So like each of those winners got close to $1,000 3 times in a row. Raise your hand if you remember those days. Yeah, yep. I calculated the odds and it was just out of this world, but that was a fun time too. So, all right, so at this time we have one more moment. And Jenny is going to do that for us with the microphone, John Scotta.
So this is from our very own Batman. This is a quote from Batman. You don't need superpowers to be a superhero.
Thank you, Jenny. Our next program next week, we're calling a club social. And what will happen at that time is we're going to have an education piece. Yes, Tim, you're going to love it. And that will be coming from our membership team, Rob Johnson, Harvey Larson, and Linda Carey. And in addition to that hands-on, fun, educational piece for our club, we will also have Bobby Terry with us, who's going to share us all things wonderful about bulletproof coffee. Yeah, and that'll be a hands-on activity for fun. You'll get to know your fellow Rotarians better and laugh and learn a little bit about coffee. So at this time, would everyone please rise for the 4-way test? Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Meeting adjourned.